All right, welcome back, everybody. You probably haven't seen any of this on Twitch because I've been live streaming on YouTube, but I figured why not post live stream this on Twitch and then just post it as a video to YouTube so I can hopefully farm the content from both of these things. So that's going to be the goal here. We've been reading the Simon Necronomicon as a preface to every video. I'm not saying that you should practice any of the rituals contained in this book. I'm not saying you should worship demonic dark spirits or practice dark magic, but it is good to know these things, to know how they work, whether or not you believe in it. I mean, I know that these things are real, and I know that evil exists. And as Sun Tzu says, in order to know the enemy, in order to defeat the enemy, you must know the enemy. So that's why I think even if you're a Christian or you're on the side of the light versus the dark, we need to study what it is that they read and what they practice so that we can know how to defend ourselves against it. That's just my viewpoint. Take of that whatever you will, but we got through the whole introduction last time. We officially began the Necronomicon, and we read the testimony of the Mad Arab, which was the first quote unquote chapter. It's not really chapters, but there's sections more like. But so we got through that, and so now today we will be beginning of the Zonei and their attributes. So one second, let me grab the amulet that we made. This is the first amulet. It's not completely accurate, but it's the first amulet of the book, said to defend against the dark ones that come from the abyss or the outside. Bam. I think it's pretty tight. I made it myself, so let's see you do better, I guess. But all right. Yeah, I mean, I know generally I should probably wait a little longer and let people start viewing if anyone even does join to view. But the whole point of me making any of these for me is really just to get the information out there. And I'm going to post it on YouTube at some point. Whoever it's meant to get to, it will get to, and the right people will watch it. So I'm just going to begin. Section 2 of the Simon Necronomicon, of the Zonei and their attributes. The gods of the stars are 7. They have 7 seals, each of which may be used in their turn. They are approached by 7 gates, each of which may be opened in their turn. They have 7 colors, 7 material essences, and each a separate step on the ladder of lights. The Chaldeans were but imperfect in their knowledge. Although they had understanding of the ladder and certain of the formula, they did not, however, possess the formula for the passing of the gates, save one, of whom it is forbidden to speak. The passing of the gates gives the priest both power and wisdom to use it. He becomes able to control the affairs of his life more perfectly than before, and many have been content to merely pass the first 3 gates, and then sit down and go no further than that, enjoying the benefits that they have found on the preliminary spheres. But this is evil, for they are not equipped to deal with the attack from without that must surely come, and their people will cry unto them for safety, and it will not come forth. Therefore, set thy face toward the ultimate goal, and strive ever onward to the furthest reaches of the stars, though it mean thine own death, for such a death is as a sacrifice to the gods, and pleasing that they will not forget their people. The Zonei and their attributes, then, are as follows. So this is the first seal of the moon right here. The god of the moon is the god Nana. He is father of the Zonei, and eldest of the wanderers. He is long of beard and bears a wand of lapis lazuli in his palm, and possesses the secret of the tides of blood. His color is silver. His essence is to be found in silver, and in camphor, and in those things bearing the sign of the moon. He is sometimes called Sin. His gate is the first that you will pass in the rituals that follow. His step on the ladder of lights is also silver. This is his seal, which you must engrave on his metal on the 13th day of the moon in which you are working, having no other person about you who may watch you in its manufacture. Being finished, it should be wrapped in a square of the finest silk and lain aside until such time as you desire its use, and then it should be removed only after the sun has gone to its rest. No ray of sunlight should strike the seal, lest its power be rendered nil, and a new seal must needs be cast. The number of Nana is 30, and this is his seal. This is the second seal. Oh shit, my bad. I'm bad at this. Trying to orient with this fucking camera, dude. I look retarded. The god of Mercury is Nebo. He is a very old spirit, having a long beard, and is the guardian of the gods, as well as the keeper of the knowledge of science. He wears a crown of 100 horns, and the long robes of the priest. His color is blue. His essence is in that metal known as quicksilver, and is sometimes also found in sand, and in those things bearing the sign of Mercury. His gate is the second that you will pass in the rituals that follow. His step on the ladder of lights is blue. This is his seal, which you must write on perfect parchment or on the broadleaf of a palm tree, having no other person about you who may watch you in its construction. Being finished, it should be wrapped in a square of the finest silk and lain aside until such time as you desire its use. And then it should be removed only when its light is in the sky. Such is also the best time for its manufacture. The number of Nebo is 12, and this is his seal. The goddess of Venus is the most excellent queen, Inanna, called of the Babylonians Ishtar. She is the goddess of passion, both of love and of war, depending upon her sign and the time of her appearance in the heavens. She appears as a most beautiful lady in the company of lions, and partakes of a subtle astral nature with the moon god Nana. When they are in agreement, that is, when their two planets are auspiciously arranged in the heavens, it is as two offering cups spilt freely in the heavens, to rain there the sweet wine of the gods upon the earth. And then there is great happiness and rejoicing. She sometimes appears in armor, and is thereby a most excellent guardian against the machinations of her sister, the dread queen Ereshki Gal of Kor. With the name and number of Inanna, no priest need fear to walk into the very depths of the underworld, for being armed in her armor, he is similar to the goddess. It was thus that I descended into the foul pits that lie gaping beneath the crust of the earth, and commanded demons. She is similarly the goddess of love, and bestows a favorable bride upon any man who desires it, and who makes the proper sacrifice. But know that Inanna takes her own for her own, and that once chosen by her, no man may take another bride. Her color is the purest white. Her manifestation is in the metal copper, and also in the most beautiful flowers of a field, and in the saddest death of the battlefield, which is that field's fairest flower. Her gate is the third you will pass in the rites that follow, and in which you will be of a heart to stay. But turn you face to the road that leads beyond, for that is your genuine goal, unless the goddess chooses you. Her step on the ladder of lights, built of old in Babylon and at is white. This is her seal, which you must engrave on copper, Venus being exalted in the heavens, with no one about watching its construction. Being finished, it is to be wrapped in the purest silk and lain safely away, only to be removed when need arises, at any time. The number of Inanna is 15, by which number she is frequently known in the incantations of the dispensation. Her seal is the following. The god of the sun is the Lord Shamash, son of Nana. He is seated upon a throne of gold, wearing a crown of 2 horns, holding a scepter aloft in his right hand and a flaming disk in his life, sending rays in every direction. He is the god of light and of life. His color is gold. His essence is to be found in gold, and in all golden objects and plants. He is sometimes called Udu. His gate is the 4th you will pass in the rituals that follow. His step on the great ladder of lights is gold. This is his seal, which you must engrave in gold when the sun is exalted in the heavens, alone on a mountain top, or some such place close to the rays, but alone. Being finished, it should be wrapped in a square of the finest silk, and lain aside until such time as it is needed. The number of Shamash is 20, and this is his seal. The god of Mars is the mighty Nergal. He is the head of a man on the body of a lion, and bears a sword and a flail. He is the god of war and of the fortunes of war. He was sometimes thought to be an agent of the Ancient Ones, for he dwelt in Kutha for a time. His color is dark red. His essence is to be found in iron, and in all weapons made to spill the blood of men and of animals. His gate is the 5th you will see as you pass the zones in the rituals that follow. His step on the ladder of light is red. This is his seal, which must be engraved on a plate of iron or on paper in blood, when Mars is in exaltation in the heavens. It is best done at night, far from the habitations of men and of animals, where you cannot be seen or heard. It must be wrapped first in heavy cloth, then in fine silk, and hid safe away until such times as it is needed. But to take care not to use this seal hastily, for it is a sharp sword. The number of Nergal is 8, and this is his seal. The god of Jupiter is the lord of magicians, Marduk Kurios, of the double-headed axe. Marduk was born of our father, Enki, to do battle against the forces of the Ancient Ones, and he won a powerful fight, subduing the armies of evil and putting the queen of the Ancient Ones beneath his foot. That serpent is dead, but dreams. Marduk was bestowed 50 names and powers by the council of the elder gods, which powers he retains to this day. His color is purple. His essence is in the material tin and in brass. His gate is the 6th that you will come upon as you follow the rituals that follow. His step on the ladder of lights is purple. This is his seal, which you must engrave on a plate of tin or of brass when Jupiter is strong in the heavens, while taking special invocation to Enki, our master. This shall be wrought as the others, and wrapped in pure silk, and lain away until the time for its use. Know that Marduk appears as a mighty warrior, with a long beard and a flaming disc in his hands. He carries a bow and a quiver of arrows, and treads about the heavens, keeping the watch. Take care to summon his assistance in only the most terrible of circumstances, for his might is powerful, and his anger fierce. When thou hast need of the powers of the star Jupiter, call instead one of the appropriate powers listed within these pages, and they will surely come. The number of Marduk is 10, and this is his seal. The god of Saturn is Ninib, called Adar, the lord of hunters and of strength. He appears with a crown of horns and a long sword, wearing a lion's skin. He is the final Zonei before the terrible Agigi. His color is the darkest black. His essence is to be found in lead, in the burnt embers of the fire, and in the things of death and of antiquity. The horns of a stag are his symbol. His gait is the last you will come upon in the rites that follow. His step on the ladder of lights is black. This is his seal, which you must engrave on a leaden plate or bowl, keeping it well hidden from the eyes of the profane. It should be wrapped and put away as all the others until its use is desired. It should never be removed when the sun is in the sky, but only after the night has fallen and the earth grown black. For Ninib knows best the ways of the demons that prowl among the shadows looking for sacrifice. He knows best the territories of the ancient ones, the practices of their worshippers, and the locations of the gates. His realm is the realm of the night of time. His number is 4, as the quarters of the earth, and the following is his seal. Alright, well, that only took 20 minutes, and the next section is rather short, so I'm just going to continue. So moving on, we have just finished the second section entitled Of the Zonei and Their Attributes. And we will now be moving on to this third section entitled The Book of Entrance and of the Walking. I'm going to just sip on some tea real quick and then we can start this. Oh my god, my bad. I didn't mean to burp like that, guys. That was gross. Okay. The Book of Entrance. This is the book of entrance to the 7 zones above the earth, which zones were known to the Chaldeans and to the ancient races that preceded them among the lost temples of Ur. Know that these zones are governed by the celestial spirits, and that passage may be had by the priest through those lands that border on the unzoned wastes beyond. Know that when walking thus through the sea of spheres, he should leave his watcher behind, that it may guard his body and his property, lest he be slain unawares and must wander throughout eternity among the dark spaces between the stars, or else be devoured by the wrathful Agigi that dwell beyond. Know that thou must walk the steps of the ladder of lights, each in its place and one at a time, and that thou must enter by the gates in the lawful manner, as it is put down in the covenant, else thou art surely lost. Know that thou must keep purified for the space of 1 moon for the entrance of the first step, 1 moon between the first and the second step, and again between the second and the third, and so on in like manner. Thou must abstain from spilling thy seed in any manner for like period of time, but thou mayest worship at the temple of Ishtar, provided thou lose not thine essence. And this is a great secret. They're talking about semen retention. That's really interesting. Very interesting. When he says you may go worship at the temple of Ishtar, at the temples of Ishtar, their priestesses were basically just prostitutes that would have sex with anyone who came to the temple. So when he's saying you may practice at the temple of Ishtar, he's saying you can go have sex with one of these prostitutes as long as you don't as long as you don't nut, you can have sex with the priestess. I love it. That's hilarious. Okay. All right. Thou must needs call upon thy God in the dawnlight, and upon thy goddess in the light of dusk, every day of the moon of purification. Thou must summon thy watcher and instruct it perfectly in its duties, providing it with a time and a place, whereby it may serve thee, and surround thee with a flaming sword in every direction. Thy clothing for the walking should be fair, clean, and simple, but appropriate for each step, and thou should have with thee the seal of the particular step whereupon thou walkest, which is the seal of the star appertaining thereunto. Thou must needs prepare an altar to face the north, having upon it the statues of thine deities, or some such suitable images, an offering bowl and a brazier. Upon the earth should be inscribed the gate appropriate to the walking. If above thee is the sky, so much the better. If there be a roof above thine head, it must be free from all hangings. Not even a lamp should be suspended over thee, save in operations of calling, which is discussed elsewhere, if the gods grant me the time. The only light shall be from the 4 lamps upon the ground, at each of the 4 gates of the earth. Of the north, 1 lamp. Of the east, 1 lamp. Of the south, 1 lamp. And of the west, 1 lamp. The oil should be pure, with no odor, or else sweet smelling. The perfumes in the brazier should also be sweet smelling, or especially appropriate to the star where thou wouldst desire entrance, after the fashion of thy country. The 7 gates here follow. This is the first gate, the gate of Nana, called Sin. This is the 2nd gate of Nebo, and the 3rd gate of Inanna, called Ishtar. This is the 4th gate of Shamash, called Udu. This is the 5th gate of Nergal. This is the 6th gate of Lord Marduk, and this is the 7th gate of Ninib, called Adar. And the ritual of the walking must follow formula herein described. First, thou must observe the moon of purification. In this time, thou mayest not eat meat for the space of 7 days preceding the last day of the moon, and for the space of 3 days preceding the last day of the moon. Thou mayest not eat anything whatsoever, save to drink sweet water. On the last 3 days, thou must invoke, in addition to thy god and goddess, the 3 great elder ones, Anu, Enlil, Enki, by their proper invocations. And the number of Anu is 60, the perfect number, for he is father of the heavens. And the number of Enlil is 50, and he is the father of the wind. And the number of Enki is 40, a most excellent number. And he is our father of all who should tread these forgotten paths and wander into lands unknown, among the wastes, amid frightful monsters of the Zonei. Second, on the night of the walking, which must be the 13th night of the moon, having begun on the previous 13th night, thou must approach the gate with awe and respect. Thy temple is exercised. Thou must light the fire and conjure it by the invocation of the god of the fire and pour incense thereon. Thou must make offering to the deities on the altar. Third, thou must light the 4 lamps from the flaming brazier, reciting the invocation proper to each of these watchtowers in its proper place, summoning the respective star. Fourth, thou must recite the invocation of the watcher, thrusting the sword into the earth at its station, not touching it until it is the appointed time for its departure. Fifth, thou must take the seal of the star in thy right hand and whisper its name softly upon it. Sixth, thou must recite the incantation of the walking, loudly and in a clear voice, as thou walkest about the gate in a circular fashion, beginning at the south and walking to the east, then to the south and to the west, the number of times being equal to the special number of the star. Seventh, thou must needs arrive back at the center of the gate, before thine altar, at which time thou must fall to the ground, looking neither to the right nor to the left at what may be moving there, for these operations attract many kinds of wandering demon and ghost to the gates, but in the air above the altar, whereupon thou wilt presently see the gate opening for thee, and the spirit messenger of the sphere greeting thee in a clear voice and giving thee a name, which thou must remember, for that is the name of thy passing the gate, which thou must use each time thou pass it thereby. The same spirit messenger will meet thee, and, if thou know not thy name, he will forbid thee entrance, and thou wilt fall to the earth immediately. When the first gate has been entered and the name received, thou wilt fall back to the earth amid thine temple. That which has been moving about thy gate on the ground will have gone. Recite thine thanksgiving to the gods upon thine altar. Strike the sword of the watcher that it may depart, and give the incantation of the Nana, which says how she conquered the realm of the underworld and vanquisheth Cthulhu. All Edemu will vanquish thereby, and thou wilt be thus free to depart the gate and extinguish the fire. Thou mayest not call upon Nana till thou hast passed the gate of Nana. Thou mayest not call Nebo until his gate hast thou passed, and similarly for the rest of the gates. When thou hast ascended to the limit of the ladder of lights, thou wilt have knowledge and power over the spheres, and wilt be able to summon them thereby in times of need. This will not give thee power over the Apsu, however, this power being obtained differently by the ritual of descent. This ritual thou wilt undertake in the 15th day, after the 13th of the month, when thou hast summoned the gate of Marduk to open. For Marduk slew the fiends, and Inanna, the goddess of the 15, conquered the netherworld, where some of theirs still dwell. This is a most perilous rite, and may be undertaken by any man who has the formula, whether he has passed the previous gates or not, save that it is best advised to have passed through the Marduk gate before venturing forth into the pit. For this reason, few have ever opened the gate of Adar, and spoken to the horned one who resideth there, and giveth all manner of wisdom regarding the operations of necromancy, and of the spells that hasten unto death. Only when thou hast shown thy power over the Maskim and the Rabishu, mayest thou venture forth to the land of the Agigi, and for that reason was this covenant made, that none shall safely walk through the sunken valleys of the dead before having ascended to Marduk, nor shall they breach the gates that lie beyond Adar until they have seen the signs of the mad god and felt the fury of the hellish queen. And against the ancient ones there is only defense. Only a madman, indeed such as I am called, can hope to have power over them that dwell in the outer spaces, for their power is unknown, and the number of their hordes uncounted, and each day they breed more horrors than a man's mind can conceive, the sight of which he can hardly bear. There was a time when the gate to the outside was open too long, and I witnessed the horror that struck, of which words cannot speak, and of which writing can only confuse. The ancient one that had escaped into the inner world was forced back through the gate by a magician of great power, but only at a great loss to the villages and flocks of the island. Many sheep were slain after an unnatural fashion, and many devoured, and many Bedeaux rendered senseless, for the mind perceives what it is shown, but the sight of the ancient ones is a blasphemy to the ordinary senses of a man, for they come from a world that is not straight, but crooked, and their existence is of forms unnatural and painful to the eye and to the mind, whereby the spirit is threatened and wrenches loose from the body in flight. And for that reason, the fearful Utuku Sul take possession of the body and dwell therein until the priest banishes them back from whence they came, and the normal spirit may return to it, to its erstwhile neighborhood. And there all the Alu, frightening dog-faced demons that are the messengers of the gods of prey, and that chew on the very bones of a man. And there are many others, of which this is not the rightful place wherein they may be mentioned, save to warn the priest against ambitious striving against the ancient ones of the outside, until mastery is acquired over the powers that reside within. Only when Adar has been obtained may the priest consider himself a master over the planes of the spheres, and able to wrestle with the old gods. Once death herself has been stared in the eye, can the priest then summon and control the denizens of death's darkly curtained halls. Then can he hope to open the gate without fear, and without that loathing of the spirit that slays the man. Then can he hope to have the power over the demons that plague the mind and the body, pulling at the hair and grasping at the hands, and screaming vile names into the airs of the night. From what comes on the wind can only be slain by he who knows the wind, and what comes on the seas can only be slain by he who knows the waters. Thus it is written in the ancient covenant. All right, guys, we're going to end the stream right there. That is sections 2 and 3. We will continue tomorrow on section 4 entitled The Incantations of the Gates. With all that being said, thank you everyone who watches and supports the channel. If you have any recommendations, I'm always open to more recommendations. And yeah, man, God bless. Stay safe. Stay with the light. And I will see you guys in the next one. Deuces.